do this. Whatever this is. Let's get this shared. 2 people and places. Let's see. Sheraton Seaburn, shared over on V1 for you guys, even though I know you're fixed wing people. But I'm a man of myself. Wow, already 2 people in here. That has got to be a record for me. Hello, number 2. Whoever you are. Much appreciated. Let's see. Gotta get my own personal thing set up here so I can see what's going on. Somehow, I think I cracked my shoulder this morning. Don't understand how or why, but we're here. And looking to the right hurts. Well, looking up hurts. To the right's not that bad, but it's not great either. Let's see, been listening to the helicopter podcast. They've been talking a lot about long lining and stuff in other places, but we'll do a usual little warm-up flight to get going. And I feel like touching this sort of area here. Jeez. And of course, I guarantee the internet's... no, relatively fast today. Relatively fast. Where are we gonna go? We gonna go somewhere specific. That doesn't look too far away there. What I really want to do is hit over these mountains. I swear I'm gonna beat that dog. Not really though. It's my brother's dog. He's chewing on his foot some. I should just follow down here. Let's head towards Bristol. Bristol has an airport, don't they? Where's the racetrack? Racetrack's here somewhere. Yeah. Set as arrival. Let's just do A star. It's nice and easy. Configure. Okay, let's get this warm-up flight going. Oh, great. Oh, great. Already? We just started. What do you mean? Sick. Love that. Oh, that's beautiful. I love cloud-based gaming. Cloud-based gaming is great. I love cloud-based gaming. Absolutely game-changing. Everybody who does not have wired fiber internet absolutely just loves cloud-based gaming. In fact, all the forums that I'm on that are exclusively forums, listen to me, 33 years old. All the Discord servers that I'm on, let's do this new speak. Oh, I love cloud-based gaming. 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 Hey, there we are. No. There we go. Can't do everything from here. I wanted passenger. I didn't want rescue. Damn it. I love cloud-based gaming. Okay, that's straight enough there. I wonder if there's an option to turn these people off. I would love that. No, my gun doesn't work. Damn it. Don't care. Scoot back a little bit. Kilo Bravo, Bravo Charlie Bravo. Oh. I forget the name of this airport. That'd be nice to know. There we go. And we don't have a tower here, but I'm going to do my own little tower speak. Let's see. Button. Bravo Charlie Bravo traffic. This is helicopter November 39164 on the ramp. We will be departing west from the ramp. Bravo Charlie Bravo traffic. Was that correct? I don't know. Since we're not doing career mode yet, I don't have to worry about taxiing all the way to the end of a runway. Feels better. Less claustrophobic. Big River Ranch. Got a helipad. Sure, let's go stop over there. I like the sound of that. Or is that 8 miles away? Oh, there's those mountains over there. Cool. We'll see if we can just identify it as is. Why am I losing all my RPM? What's going on here? It said flight. Nope. What's going on? Okay, I had my governor switch off, which I don't think there's a governor in this helicopter. It's a FADEC system, but I had my governor switch off because I had hopped in 2020 yesterday to fly around the Robinson R22, and I was doing some auto rotation practice with it. But apparently that affects the FADEC system here somehow. Not sure. Strange. Okay. If you have a governor switch mapped to all of your helicopters, then you should worry about that messing with your FADEC in a turbine, you know. Did that ever mess with anything else? I think I had issues once on the MD500 when I was flying that. I want to say I was even streaming during that flight, so this had to have been a few months ago when 2020 was still the thing. Flying the MD500 somewhere down around Florida. I think Cletus's place, like the Micaiah Head Bald Eagle Airport down in the Bradenton area, and I was having some weird problems with it. I couldn't figure it out, and it was a governor switch. So yeah, you got your governor switch mapped, and you should take care of that before you do any flying in an airframe that doesn't have a governor. And actually, now that I'm not worried about that, we can pour a little bit of juice onto this and build us some airspeed to go over here and see what this particular airport is all about, or this helipad's all about. 3 people in here. Hello, other viewers. I know I have that consistent one who is me on my phone watching it, because I do not have any sort of add-ons or plugins to see my chat over here anywhere. Seeing an additional 2, that's nice to know. Glad you stopped by. If you have any helicopter questions, 3 other people, hello. If you have any helicopter questions, or you want to tell me I'm an idiot for flying something without wings, then I'm here for it. I'm open for criticism. And I'm open for criticism on flying style, and whatever else you can throw at me, or just a yap. I'm here to yap, because I'm also still not completely sold on this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 experience. There's a few pluses to it, and there's a lot of minuses to it. And I'm curious if anybody else in here uses one or both of them and what their opinions are. Big thing right away for me, even though we're up close and I've got the graphics turned down so I prefer the smoothness for VR. What do we have down here? It's cows. Oh, these are horses. Hello, trees. We're not going to get near you. Do a little bit of herding while we're here. Yeah, this is why I wish it would hurry up and transfer my stuff from 2020 over, so I could do this with the R22 and have a little nimble helicopter. Can't get you two. You two are close to the trees. Everybody else over here, we're gonna get you more or less together. Sure, y'all can go up there if you want to. But you're not hanging out with your friends, so that's your fault. Whee! Okay. Boy, imagine how terrifying this must be for a fucking horse. Nope. We're going to go this way. There you go. you go, a little bit of mustering. Let's go. Okay. Let's see this ranch is so I can demand a paycheck from them. 2 miles away, I'm sure they're related. Yeah, that'd be much funner than the little R-22, a little nimble helicopter that's under power that you just use momentum to throw it around everywhere. There's a guy on YouTube. Who is it? One of the helicopter guys I watch. French guy. What's it called, like low fuel or something like that. Because there's Critical Angle, which is a good domestic-based helicopter YouTube channel. There's like a low fuel or something like that. There's some channel along the lines of that. And he did a ride-along with a guy with a Robinson R-22, but it's a hospital. Can't get a check. Is this a 2-helipad hospital? Because they have the one, yeah, okay, it's rendered in, so it's not just one that's on the ground. Okay, cool. It's touch and go, training flight, hospitals. Do I get the ground effect bug here? Yep, a little bit, biting it. All those sharp inputs there that were to the right were not me. That was what us helicopter players call the ground effect bug. And it's a huge pain in the ass. And but yeah, there's a guy with a Robinson R-22 and he's turbine swapped it. So obviously I believe it's in the experimental category now. I don't think it's a certified aircraft. It's also in Europe, so I'm not sure what all of their rules are for EASA. Let's see. No ground effect bug, that's nice. Yeah, turbine-powered Robinson R-22. And for those of you who are not super familiar with helicopters and how they work, just like planes require a lot of runway when they are overweight, helicopters can also not just take off straight up. Same thing. Jesus, that ground effects bug's annoying. I'm like pushing left pedal here to try to come down into it. Now it oversells it since I get settled into it. Stay in it while I come down. That is so annoying. Give me just a second. Let me step off for a quick sec. I'm back. I muster my dogs for a quick second. And when I say muster my dogs, I mean open a door and let them out and let them back in just a second, because they didn't need to be outside. They decided against that. So yeah, let me make sure I'm in the right spot here again. Back here. Get my headset all set up. Yeah, helicopters cannot take off straight up and down, especially when fully loaded. Which also, to correct myself, they can take off straight up and down. They just don't like it. Helicopters operate on a thing called ETL, or effective transitional lift, and when you're moving forward, your entire rotor system acts as a wing, and the entire rotor system creates lift as the air moves over it, not just through it. So taking off straight up to clear obstacles is typically considered a max performance takeoff. And something like this A-Star here, it's got plenty of power and we don't have a lot of weight in it. I'm watching my torque over here on the left, and we're not using a lot of available torque, and we are able to get up and clear trees with no big deal. We can even go a lot more torque and get up a lot quicker, but I don't know how realistic that is, and if operators would appreciate you doing that. But a lot of times, super heavy helicopters, or super overloaded helicopters, which I'll even tink. Of course, how does it unmap my fuel button after one day? Settings, controls, keyboard, fuel, fuel quantity, add fuel quantity. Have to use my mouse. F. I don't know why there's a second one. But let's see, let's circle back around here. Let's top off on fuel. Got an extra couple of 100 pounds on us here. Let's wake up some of these hospital folk. Boy, if I saw a helicopter coming at me like that, I'd feel pretty alive, so maybe that will help somebody out. Slow our little happy ass down. Let's move over the pad. And let's get ready to fight this ground effect bug it's going to throw at us. Whoop. Not today, ground effect bug. Now let's see if I can do... Of course, my VR menu's not popping up like it should be. Another thing, I think this is more of a VR toggle toolbar. So I'm gonna go to controls and change that then. R44, general toggle toolbar. Yeah, see, that doesn't work. That's another failure on their part. I was going to add a lot more weight to the helicopter and do a takeoff and show you how much torque I would have to add to get ourselves up to speed. But we're going to fly dangerously here, over torquing, and don't worry, we'll tell the operator when we get back. Going a long way, and I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to go that long way. This was just a little warm-up. Well, we might, you know, I kind of enjoy just flying around sometimes. Talking and yapping, and the whole title of this video was is Microsoft 2024, Flight Sim 2024, worth it at this point, being December 23rd, 2024. 2 days before Christmas, I believe. It's Monday. It's amazing how loud the vibrate on that phone is. So yeah, is Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 viable or worth purchasing at this moment? Short answer, no. Long answer, yes. I will say that I believe Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 is more worth purchasing at the moment. I believe it's actually going to be on sale. If it isn't already, a lot of the add-ons are on sale, a lot of the DLC is on sale. You can get just about everything on sale, which is great because Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 is pretty well sorted. There are some things that aren't the best with it and some things that change that 2024 here does address currently. But for the most part, 2020 does everything pretty damn good. What does 2024 do that 2020 doesn't quite do? Trees. I will say the trees are much better. It does look like crap to you guys right now through my screen. Because I'm running VR and I keep the settings relatively low in VR because I'd rather have the smooth experience and not have to worry about motion sickness. But it's been nice. 2 weeks ago I was flying kind of in the same area. The trees were all orange and yellow and red, and it was very much like fall. Now, of course, they look more wintry, dead, and brown. Depending on where I go in the country, you can see different styles, though. And when I say different styles, I mean different breeds? Species. Different species of trees. You go to Florida, you see more palm trees. It's more green down there, too, despite it being winter time. Whatever their algorithm is, does a pretty good job. That's a cool little area right here. Sucks that there's a power pole right in the middle. Be a neat place to build a house. But yeah, for somebody like me who is spending most of my time within a few hundred feet of the ground versus the airline people or the pressurized cabin or really any fixed wing people that are doing any sort of longer distance stuff, they're usually 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35,000 feet up, depending on the airframe and what the mission is. I would say if you're only doing airplane stuff and you want to be doing things like airline travel and longer multi-hour trips to where you're doing let's say autopilot and anything to do with instrument flying, I would say probably do 2020 just out of ease of use. It's simpler, you don't have much to worry about. What are the chances that I can fly under this? Not that I have the skill, but that the bridge is actually rendered or built to a point to where I can fly under it. It's just not a wall that I'm willing to run into. Nice. Little effect that saw a weird vertical line kind of pop up here. That was strange. But yeah, if you're doing that, then stick 2020 right now. Apparently there's still a lot of handling bugs. A lot of the planes aren't complete yet. My headset will sometimes say it's disconnected and it will turn the entire screen black and freak out instead of just giving me a notification where I can still see what's going on. So I've got to hit the pause key there really quick on my keyboard. That's something I think Meta should change on that. I had it happen once on a very technical approach in career mode when I was in my own purchased helicopter with very low insurance ratings on it, so I could have ended up losing a couple of days worth of grinding at that point just because the headset wanted to tell me that the charging port was disconnected because it sensed water. I'm sorry, no, you don't sense water. You're just not happy with a third-party cable because I decided not to spend $75 on a branded Meta cable. That's not my fault. But yeah, like I said, if you're doing fixed wing operations, if you're doing anything where you're flying above 10,000 feet, I don't think there is any purpose in it whatsoever for you to buy 2024. It's not worth it for you to invest the money, it's not worth it for you to invest the effort and the downloading and the load times, which take longer now. I don't know if that's just because I'm on Starlink, or if that's just the way it is now. Regardless, if you're doing fixed wing stuff, I'd probably stay 2020. Now, with that said, sorry about that, if you're doing the helicopter stuff, and you are not going to be picky about career mode things, because there's a lot of bugs for career mode right now, and you just want to do it out of the enjoyment of flying and seeing the area and the different geographies of places here and there, and the colors and the way the ground looks and the way buildings are rendered out, I would say go with 2024. There are some failures with the helicopter stuff, like the ground effect bug, which is huge. It's it ruins a good portion of career mode, which sucks. Because I think probably the funnest things in career mode are ruined by the helicopters being an afterthought. The ground effect bug is really annoying when you're doing rescue missions. The rescue missions that they start you out with are really annoying because they have you try to rescue people by landing in places where you can't land. I think rescue missions, landing, and hoist shouldn't be separate types. It should just be one type, and then whatever you decide to do is what it chooses, just like with the hype group H145 and missions that you could have downloaded for 2020. You could decide whether you were going to land or you were going to hoist. And that was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the way that they had set those up. And here, though, it's either a landing mission or a hoisting mission. And they don't, it's not very helpful. You don't have any sort of marker that you can refer to on a screen like in Hype. Because I understand that it would be hard to have a... It's probably not hard, it's probably just something they don't want to do because they don't think about it, but to have a crew chief, whether in the aircraft with you, like your co-pilot should, or somebody on the ground telling you forward, backward, left, right, up, down, 5 feet low, 5 feet high, etc. They leave you at the mercy of it, which, then again, it's not hard. You have a radar altimeter there. It's possible to see what your helicopter's doing with your radar altimeter. Like, cool, well, look, I'm at 250 feet. That's way higher than what any sort of long line in this game would be, although in real life a 200-foot long line is something that's common. But they give you a 30-foot hook, which is extremely short for doing any sort of hook load. It is nice that it swings, and it does affect the helicopter with the weight of what's swinging. I will give that to them. That's nice. But 30 foot high, which I'm downhill here. Let's see, we're at 25. That's about 30 feet right there. Not bad for references when you're trying to see, but as far as forward and backward, usually you have somebody there telling you, and usually it's a much longer line also, where in the cargo variant of this helicopter there's a little window right here on the floor. When you have a long line, you can actually see down to where it would be in the center. But with the short line, you can't see where the hook is unless you're really hanging your head out far. And then when you look at the hoisting issues, most of the hoisting missions are sea-based. And you can imagine in a sea base where you don't have somebody telling you left or right, all the water looks exactly the same. Sure, you are able to hit your mark and say, okay, cool, I'm at 50 feet right there. You're at 30 feet. Decent, that's not that bad to pick that and do a hover. But most of the time when you're at sea, the winds are 15 to 30 knots from whatever direction. And then when everything looks exactly the same and you do not have any of the references off the windows, it's more or less impossible to stay in one spot, especially not being able to see where you are at below you, and you don't have anybody from your hoist telling you what they're doing or what they're not doing. Becomes a huge pain. So search and rescue missions are pretty much dead until they can either give you the option to pick landing or hoisting, because there are times that says you have to land and pick up the person, but the places where they give you to land, you have to land within a certain distance of wherever the person is. It will look like this, and I can almost guarantee you I could land right there, even though it looks like it's full of trees, because some of those trees don't actually have a hit box or any sort of a registerable mass. But you don't know. If you were flying a normal helicopter there, you'd say, no, you can't do that. But you have to guess and slowly try to inch your helicopter into somewhere. And then, I don't know if you saw it, let's see if I can just find one tree standing alone. This one here, the bug that I mentioned earlier, the ground effect bug, is in fact induced by trees also. So when you are trying to lower yourself into a very small area where you don't know if the tree's real or not, but you have to land to rescue the person because that's the only way to go ahead and do something, you end up getting these wild bugs from the trees creating a ground effect bug on you, where it's not a progressive introduction of ground effect, where it's just an immediate on and off switch. And that makes rescue missions, I'm not going to say impossible, because I've got the certifications for them here and I've completed missions for them, but I don't do them now because they're not fun. There's no purpose to it for the amount of stress that you get and getting angry because you don't have anybody telling you forward, backward, left, right, up, or down. And like with the hoisting missions over the seas, the swimmer literally just hangs on the end of the rope. It's not a drop off and he swims to them and they get ready to hoist up and then you hit your mark and then hoist them up. It's you have to dangle the person over there, and if you're 3 feet off the side of the effective area or the target zone, which is hovering directly over the person, he just hangs there on the rope. He doesn't swim. And let's say you get down to 15 foot or 20 foot and it's a 30-foot hoisting line. If you move yourself towards and you get yourself right hovering over the correct spot, he'll still be sitting 15 foot behind you because the length of the rope didn't get pulled tight, so he didn't get pulled to the rescuer. So the people on the ground are completely incapable. And we'll talk about construction too, because I just recently got that certification here because I had to fight another bug that made it where I could not do any construction work until I had to go past my night certification. Fixed wing, which is annoying. Another thing to have to do fixed wing certifications when all I want to do is rotorcraft stuff. With the construction things, I picked up what was effectively this section of the tower there. The base section already existed, and you're in the sky crane, the 64 sky crane. First of all, to do the same 30-foot line, the sky crane's a huge helicopter. Your wheels are basically 3 to 5 foot off of the ground when you're picking something up. So instead of doing a 30-foot hover, like here would be where I pick something up with this helicopter with the hook, which that's even 50 feet, so that's a little bit high. But here it's just the pickup level for that. With the sky crane, you have your wheels maybe this far off the ground, because the center of the helicopter where the hook is mounted is very, very high up. It's a 15 to 20 foot tall helicopter. And so your hovering point is here, where you sit, because you sit relatively low compared to the rest of everything else. So you basically have to land onto what you're picking up. Where you end up hooking this pole thing is actually up here on the top. So then you pick up, and of course, I understand you'll have to swing bigger things here and there. Actually, I just see this comment here. Felix Madison, will it run under Windows 10? I don't know. Sorry, let me refresh everything real quick. Windows 10, I couldn't tell you. I'm on 11, I believe. I'm not extremely computer savvy. I apologize. I'm surprised that I'm actually running this in VR as I am. It honestly took me an entire day to build the PC because I have no idea about them. I can do cars, helicopters, whatever. I can work on anything, but my extent of caring about computer stuff is extremely low, sadly enough. But check the requirements on the line online. I don't see why Windows 10 wouldn't run it, because there's so many PCs that still run Windows 10 out there. Windows 11 is of course the newest thing, but I'm pretty sure 2020 would run on Windows 10. 2024, I don't know for sure, but 2020 I'm pretty sure can. But then again, you can just check on their website, and they can state that in their system requirements. I will say on this, I'm running Windows 11, I'm running a Ryzen 7800 X3D, and I'm running a 4070 Ti Super. I think I've got 128 gigs of RAM and 3 terabytes of hard drive, so I've got plenty of space for all this stuff. I could run quicker with a better GPU, and I've already more or less maxed out CPU, but there is ways to step up. Doing like a 7900 or whatever, but for what I'm doing, this is plenty enough, and my purpose of buying this, it wasn't worth my investment to spend that much more money. But yeah, I think 2020 can do Windows 10, and like I said, if you're doing fixed wing stuff, that's probably the way to go. But yeah, on these, so let's say you got this, let's see if we can estimate here. So my radar altimeter at this height here says we're about at 75 feet. We come up here to the top, and we're at 170 feet. So a 100-foot section of a power pole here. They don't tell you that. They do not tell you how tall your power pole is. They do not tell you how tall your base that you're setting something on is. And so you have to imagine your 30-foot line with a 150 or 100-foot section hanging from it. So you have 130 feet of ground clearance that you need to keep it from smacking the ground. I'm guessing this is just pure estimation. And then on top of that, you have to say you're 75 foot of base height. So that makes you at like 225 feet of above ground altitude that you would need to get or carry. Again, estimating, it doesn't tell you this. That should be something that's in the briefing, but it's not. And then you don't have any crew chief. You have a van on the ground there that's supposedly the construction van. You have a co-pilot, and even in the sky cranes, there's another third co-pilot sitting behind you facing backwards where he can look straight down and help line stuff up. You can't sit in that seat, and you can't have an AI co-pilot helping out doing it. But so you're having to guess, okay, I'm going to say I'm 30 feet above the top of this. I'm assuming, I don't know because I don't know how tall it's supposed to be. And then when you're coming up here, you're fighting the winds and stuff, and okay, cool, you're off by 1 foot to the left, and you don't know it because it's also 20 to 30 feet behind where you're sitting as the pilot, is where the pick point is in the sky crane. So you're trying to watch shadows or whatever, but I did find not a way to cheat it, but I figured out a way to do pretty well in it. What I did I ended up taking the 64, and I'm imagining this is the base of the tower here that we're building. And I inched up to it, just over it. And this is in like the middle of a field too, so there weren't any points to look at, like the trees in front of us. And I went straight over it, and then I basically drug my load. I drug my load up the side of it. So you can imagine somebody dancing at the club, somebody grinding and like sliding their ass all the way up your legs. I basically did that with the upper portion of the tower against the lower part of the tower until it hit the top. And then as soon as I got that green marker that said you're in the zone, I figured it had slid up all the way to the top and caught on to where it needed to catch on. But without any sort of thing or person telling you forward, backward, left, right, up, down in any way, shape, or form, it's more or less impossible. And all the construction jobs that I see currently are for power line stuff. And that's annoying because there's no frame of references. I see in the trailer for it and in the opening menu for 2024, it has the like a air conditioning condenser installation on skyscrapers, which I feel might be slightly easier because you'll have all the frames of reference. I don't know how big the drop points would be for those, but I would assume it would be bigger than the drop point the size of the top of the tower. Either way, I haven't touched those yet because I don't want to deal with it because of how badly it's designed, where they don't have any sort of assist or crew telling you what to do. In no professional operation would they not have that. They wouldn't send you out there solo and tell you to figure it out. Because there's going to be people if there's nobody on the ground, which there should be, telling you left or right, there's going to be people on the tower doing the assembly telling you left or right. And they'll be communicating with the person on the ground, and the people on the ground are communicating with you and your co-pilot and your third co-pilot, which would be sitting behind you facing backwards in the 64. And then a lot of the missions that are out on the oil rigs, which you can watch the stream I did yesterday or the day before, whatever my last stream was, same thumbnail as this one. But I went out to the oil fields in the Gulf, and they give you a drop point that's 75 to 80% not on the platform. Got a phone call, guys. Let's let people listen into it. What's up, Dave? I'm streaming. What's up? Yeah, I figure if I'm going to be flying helicopters in the simulator, I might as well stream it when I do it. Because if it turns into an income source, then why sit here and waste doing it? Oh yeah, I've got nothing going on if you've got something. Oh no, I'm done whenever you say I'm done. Okay, man. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Dave Cutler, ladies and gentlemen. Stuntman extraordinaire. If you are looking for somebody who's a phenomenal driver and can more or less do anything, driving, motorcycles, fabrication, great guy, good friend of mine. I would probably rank him as one of the top four-wheeled stunt drivers in the country. And same for motorcycles too, which I'm sure there's others that are better. I just haven't met them, and I've been in a handful of productions with some of the best drivers in the world. But so yeah, the oil field stuff, and then some of the contracts you can do as an employee, or if you freelance. I haven't invested the huge chunk of money in buying a Chinook yet. But with the Chinook, then again, it's your center pick point's a good 30 to 40 feet behind where you sit as the pilot. And it's almost impossible for you to be able to conceive where that's at with the place that they have some of these dropping points on these oil rigs, where you have to come in at these extremely weird angles to not have any sort of rotor strike on the big vertical low power lines. That would have been fucking bad right there. But yeah, so you'd have these rotor strikes on the vertical trusses and supports and cranes and whatever on the drilling platforms. So you have to come in at an extremely weird angle to be able to even drop your cargo in the circle where they accept a cargo drop. And it's only possible to go in from that one particular angle just because of the shape of the helicopter and the rotors and everything. And it sticks your nose out over the water, so then again you're working with absolutely no references. Of course you can go third person, you can... Oh shit. That was a drink on the table. Doo-doo-doo. Usually I have it in a little cup holder, but I didn't. Let me make sure I didn't ruin everything real quick. Okay, we're back. Not that bad. Let's get that recentered up. Cool. Don't worry, it only landed on my helicopter manual. Matthew, how are you doing this? Well, it's on a helicopter manual. I read the book. I learn. So, let's resume. So yeah, like I can hit this third person view right here, but I got into doing this sim flying in VR because I want to learn how to fly helicopter. And if I can actually teach myself how to fly helicopter, initially doing this, learning, figuring out my hovering, figuring out my pedal turns, quick stops, auto rotations. If I'm able to figure that out now without having to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars and doing it in real life, then hopefully I can speed up my learning process when I come to getting the real license. I understand that it's not going to be a complete direct replacement for the real thing, but I do think it's a good enough bit for learning actual hovering and normal low maneuvers and stuff. That's why I did it in 2020 a lot. I had 140 hours of more or less just flying around the R22, where like 60 to 80 hours of that was mostly flying under 10 foot high, to where I would be dealing with hovering like this, whether it's low pedal turns, slow flying, following the lines in taxiways, flying around parking lots to different locations that I kind of mentally noted, or let's say that light area of ground over here on the other side of this little valley where it looks like it'd be a fence or something by the photogrammetry. I would fly from one area to the next one, and I would do a touchdown, and then I would do different winds and gusts and stuff like that, all to help myself learn the slow control a little bit more and more. I'm not going to bother these cows. They're looking like they're laying down and relaxing. But yeah, so all that to say, flying third person for the lifts and stuff does make it slightly easier to see, but also I get a lot of my feel for the aircraft and the airframe itself from being able to see everything and being able to see the quick reactions and stuff. And I can tell you, trying to do the third person lifts with the sky crane, it was almost impossible to not get PIOs, or pilot-induced oscillations, from the weight of the swinging cargo. So when I'm coming in for a stop, regardless of how slow I would do it, I could even do it first person like this. Come in, get my hover established, and then go to third person. But even then I start drifting backwards because I lose all my points of reference for where I'm supposed to be. I'm not lining anything up on my glare shield or the dashboard. I'm not using like the center divider for my windshield to line up on anything, so it's a lot harder to hover in this third person, even if I were to straighten myself back out here. I'm not looking sideways. It's significantly harder to hover this way. I'm sure, of course, I could spend hours getting myself retaught to do this. But why would I do that? It's to no practical effect for what I want. Like I said, what I'm looking to get out of this is to learn the basics of flying a helicopter. And flying third person and doing all my hoisting and lifting and sling loading and whatever, third person does not benefit me from wanting to learn how to do it first person. Because first person is, guess what, how you actually fly the damn thing in real life. Bring the torque in there. Sick. So yeah, Microsoft 2024, you're looking to do helicopter stuff for career mode, and to do anything and everything, it is not worth it. Not a bit, unless you just want to get into it and enjoy having a variety of different plants and variety of colors for changing seasons. The photogrammetry is better. It does feel a lot more complete as a sim for that reason. Like, I don't know if these are evergreens down here, but it's a different type of tree. And it's nice to have that variety of different things that look different and give you that different feel. As little as that sounds, for somebody flying fixed wing at altitude, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you're flying stuff low and that's the only place that you do fly anything in this game, it's worth it for me. For the enjoyment, and I don't mind doing the career mode stuff where I can't do everything yet, just because it's broken to a point where it's not fun and it's not of value to me. But if you're just looking to fly helicopters and you don't mind spending $1 here, $1 there on some models that are currently on sale, a lot of the third-party helicopters are on sale right now in 2020. So you can get the game probably on sale. You can get the models and the downloads on sale right now. And it's an extremely good deal. And the plus side is those things that you get for DLC will carry over into 2024. So whenever they have an update, when you first downloaded, they did let some helicopter models come over. But in this latest update, they really deleted all of them, so you only have whatever the factory aircraft are. So I've still yet to fly the Robinson R22 here, which is what I enjoy doing because it's what I will be training on in real life. But I can always hop back on 2020 if I want to get a little bit of time with that. But if you're doing fixed wing, don't get it yet. Go straight 2020 and just enjoy it until nobody's complaining about this one anymore. You see that whatever airframe that you like I have a friend who really enjoys the Caravans. So until the airframe that you like is figured out on here, don't get 2024. It's not worth it. You might be able to find it on sale for Labor Day or Veterans Day or whatever. You know, you can wait. It's not worth getting it immediately. You're not missing out on anything. But if you're like me and you just enjoy flying near and low to the ground and you don't mind having a little bit of beautiful cloud gaming, lack of detail, then I say get it. Because if you do have fast enough internet, or if their servers are fast enough on the day that you are playing it is nice having a variety of trees and fauna. You have the little helicopter, and you can go around and chase cows and horses and practice your low maneuvers, slow, fast, whatever. It's nice to have the extra detail when it gets to that point. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Now, because I want to finish this flight, 3, 4, we're going to speed up and sim rate ourselves down towards Bristol. And I feel like in 2020 this would have been loaded in for the most part, but it's chunk by chunk coming in for trees for us. But right now it looks like I'm playing a simulator from 1990s. 3, 2, 1. Come on, load me in. Hey, there you are, ground. That's how it works in real life, too. Tall tree right there. This isn't the airport we were aiming for, but it might be the airport we stop at. Let's see how far we are. Yeah, we're halfway through the damn trip. I'm not going to go all the way to Bristol. Boy, imagine being a person at the airport and having a helicopter come in that aggressively without them calling in first to the field and either being approved for landing or figuring that out beforehand. Actually, I've never tried an auto rotation in this helicopter yet. What we're going to do, we're going to see if auto rotation actually works, or if they have that programmed into where it's doable. Although it does feel kind of skippy right now, so that's a bit of a risk. But we're going to give it a shot. For those of you that are unaware, an auto rotation is how and why, in my opinion, helicopters are safer than airplanes. Right now, you can imagine all the air. Hey, look, my little thing's back. So I could change weight and weather and stuff. But right now, we're more or less blowing this way. Whenever we're falling out of the sky, the wind's coming up through the main rotor blade. What our thing down here, the collective, does is, let's get our rotor speed back up real quick. Which I basically just did a small little auto rotation there, because the VR clicks are kind of strange. When the air is blowing up through the main rotor, and we push our collective all the way down, it angles our main rotor blades in a way to where the falling of the helicopter spins the blades. And then I can float this in the right area down here, and that will, or feather it, and that will actually allow the rotor blades to spin at enough of our speed here at the 380 to 410-ish RPM. It will allow us to keep that going while giving us just enough lift to not fall like a fucking rock. For lack of better terms, Smarter Every Day has a really good video on auto rotations. Here we go, I just killed my fuel. Putting my collective all the way down, pulling back on my cyclic some to try to see, and it should be building up the rotor RPM a lot more, but it's not doing that. don't know if you've been able to see that, but I was able to arrest the fall a little bit there. Cool, there we go. I'm not happy with that auto rotation. But it was something that happened. So will this be able to restart, or do I need to wait until it dies down all the way? We'll see. But that was a full-on emergency, no engine. Which typically you should be able to get it to live in the correct green range for everything. Pick up the flight. It's showing me more torque. RPM's building. Sick. That's good. That's good. Hell yeah. We're gonna do it again, guys. We'll try a bit more altitude and a bit more speed to see if I can keep my rotor RPM in the green here. It was still able to be saved, obviously. We had a pretty smooth landing for everything considered. But I'd like to obviously try to do better for an auto rotation than that. There's our runway, so we're going to come back over here and do another straight in. Just because, like I said, I've never done the auto rotation in this sim yet, much less, or I've done it in this helicopter before in 2020. I think it was the Cowan sim, H125 or AS350. Is my brightness not all the way up on this? We have a couple of speeds we're looking at here. We're going to try to stay underneath the 100 knots. But sometimes, I mean, if you're flying faster than 100 knots, you will still have to perform an auto at that speed. Right now I've got a good 1,000 foot above ground level. We're gonna get as close to 100 knots as we can, so we'll throw some torque in there now. There you go, losing it. Pulling back, my collective's down. I'm curious if that's just the rate, if that's what it's supposed to be. Let's see if I can extend the glide a little bit by pulling up on the collective a little bit to create a little bit of lift. Pushing forward on the stick to try to extend it. Pulling up on the collective a little bit here. Be a hell of a running landing. Kind of doing a quick stop, but not really. There we go. Almost made it to the runway, but like I said, it was weird because I can't get the rotor speed into the green. But either way, whatever. I'm going to call that good. That's off. Shut you down. Not interested. We had 2 successful auto rotations. Still kind of off on the how it falls, because I feel like it should be able to maintain in the green, but I don't know what the how much inertia this rotor system has, if it's able to keep its mass moving the correct way. And I forgot the brake doesn't work unless the battery's on in this helicopter. For at least the model I feel like the That shouldn't be, but now we'll actually stop. Let's see. Cool. Good, good, good. Did I play any yesterday? I don't know if I did. I don't know what our income will be here. Which, here's another gripe. In the career mode, you can turn the cruise on for your helicopter so it will work whenever you're not playing them. But it waits 24 hours after you've touched them last. And sometimes, even if I don't have the time to play, I will, I'll log in just to do the maintenance, as you'll see I do here. And I'll log in to do that, but that will kill it to where it won't do anything else for 24 hours. I don't think the maintenance should have any effect on the actual, it's like right here, I'll do manage. It's like, cool, 3,000 bucks, whatever. I've got 1.8 million. I'll do that. It's all good. And I'll wash it. But right now, that kills this helicopter for 24 hours. It will not work by itself for 24 hours. Which, if I'm just doing maintenance, it shouldn't do that. I get it if I fly it and they're like, okay, cool, you might log back on or use it again. No, like, let it keep working. The maintenance shouldn't affect that any. So our air shuttle. Here we go. $12,000, not that big of a deal. A little bit of maintenance, a little bit of a wash. That shouldn't make it where it doesn't work again. But then the rescue thing down here, it's like, cool, I'm not going to fly this. It's just, I'd like to have the rescue thing in case I ever want to do it myself. But it doesn't pay well enough to take the risk of how dumb all the things with the career mode are for the helicopter. Not worth it. Also, something here. Yes, I'm good for cargo transport, but I don't see a search and rescue agriculture. Not going to do that because the little trucks that you have to land on to refill your tank, they have the ground effect bug, and it's such a small truck and you're so close to the ground, it's not worth the risk of trying to fix it or catch it if you're going to crash it, because it's not worth the insurance that you have to pay to do it. But I don't see cargo hook or sling work. I see aerial construction, but I don't know if this cargo transport is the same as helicopter cargo transport. So that's one thing I wouldn't mind doing, because I could do it with the H125 here. But yeah, that's dumb. So yeah, we didn't do any career mode, short stream, but I just wanted to do something Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Nice, short, fun one for today.